Hello, people. This is Monish back again with yet another book review, and this time I'm so excited. I absolutely enjoyed reading this book. In fact, I loved reading it. So, the book is On the Road by Jack Kerouac. It was first published in 1957, and I think many of you will know that it has always been hailed as a masterpiece of American literature. It's almost iconic, and I'm so glad that I read it, and now I know why it has always been hailed as a masterpiece of American literature. Um, so to begin with, it is a story about two friends, Sal Paradise and Dean Moriarty, living their life on the road, on the American road. Um and as they travel across the country, across the longitudes and latitudes, and from one climate to another, you can't help but travel with them and get mesmerized as they do, passionately enjoying the little joys they get in meeting different people, different cultures, and uh, observing different landscapes. And you do realize how vast this country is, with every few miles, the whole landscape changes, and people and culture, everything changes. And everything that you see anew mesmerizes you all over again. And you kind of share in their joys, their passions, as they enjoy themselves living on the road. Uh, and it's contagious, it's like, as a reader you are transported to the 1940s Americas, where people are traveling in their Chevys and their Fords across the American landscape, and everything that they behold is beautiful. It's like a journey to it's a journey where one goes out to discover the country for himself. And as these two people, Dean and Sal, discover America for themselves and really have a good time, you join them on their journey. I think as you read this book, you do realize that Sal and Dean are working as the alter egos of the other. While Sal is more sober and more grounded, Dean is more wild and more exuberant. And uh, the interplay, between them as friends is kind of beautiful, because one is doing what the other wanted to do, or one is saying what the other was thinking about. And this interplay and this friendship, I think it adds a lot to the book, a lot to the journeys that they are having. And both these characters, I think they have been immortalized. Their friendship has been immortalized, and I think that they'll live forever now. And I will always think of life on the road in the Americas, and these two characters will always come into my mind. Uh, Sal Paradise and Dean Moriarty. Um, the other thing that really comes across, that jumps out of this book, is the level of decadence. I mean, the sheer the passionate pursuit of joys with regard to nothing else but having a good time, and drinking and just going wild, and doing it all the time while you're on the road, and having those great adventures. There is I mean, it's entirely decadent. And I think the whole world kind of views America as this decadent place where you can really enjoy yourself and not worry about any values as such. And I think we all kind of resent it and also envy it at the same time. But there's the level of decadence, really jumps out and grips you, and I think you also tend to enjoy it with these two characters. And the other thing, and this is something that really set this book apart, and I've never read anything like this in my entire life. The whole book, from the start to the finish, has this musical beat to it. It's like, the prose is really simple, but it comes across as really lyrical. Uh, the prose is lyrical, and the music is constant. You're reading these words, but they sound in your mind as music. They resound in your mind as music, and it's unrelenting from the first word to the last. It's like this constant jazz that is playing, and at sometimes this jazz turns into hard rock, and it's unrelenting, and it's exciting, and it's extremely uplifting at times, and sometimes sad, and well, and it's striking, and it's really beautiful because I don't think I've read anything which had such lyrical and musical prose ever. So what happens is this, and so what happens when you read this book is that three things jump out. They're always on the road. They're always having these adventures, and almost all the time, their life on the road is almost decadent. And then there's this constant, musical beat, which is kind of unrelenting. So there are times while you're reading this book that you feel exhausted, because all this partying and traveling and the mesmerizing and the adventures, and they make you feel exhausted and you want to take a break. But when you do take a break, you want to get back again. And I think uh, the author kind of the author uh, kind of captured that in the way that these protagonists, these two friends, feel, because they are always dying to get back on the road and live their lives. And as you take a break, you want to get back to reading this book and live along with these two characters. So I have to say that this is absolutely a masterpiece. I I I don't know how much more can I recommend this book to everyone. Uh, it's just beautiful. It will not be anything like you've ever read. Uh, the musical beat is just awesome, and it really captures your imagination, and you do get transported to another world, the world of late 1940s America, and you absolutely fall in love with that country at that time. And I think if you do pick this book up, you will really like it and thank me for reviewing this book. Having said that, this is my review for On the Road by Jack Kerouac, and I hope to come back with another book review pretty soon. Till then, so long.